Hello and welcome to a new video, to a new tutorial for fundamentals of programming in Python. In this video, we will discuss about functions and more exactly about defining functions. So we saw in the previous video how can we use some methods for strings. Now what we have to do is to define our function. So we'll have the first question, it will be about define a function and why it is important to have to define our function and so on. After that, I will want to discuss about returns and print function. We'll see that there are two different types of function. Some function that will return something, an output, a result, or something like this, and some function that will print that result on the console. And let's say another section, operations in functions. We will see that we will use these functions to make some operations with our data. Okay, so we'll start with the defining a function. What is important here, when we want to define a function, we have to create that function. And if you want to create a new function or to define a new function, we'll have a keyword, def. So this it will be the keyword that it will define actually a new function in the code. After that, we have to mention the name of our function. Let's say I will use print name. Print, let's use the snake case for this name. So we have print name. And here I will got, so if we have a function, we should have this parenthesis. And in between these parentheses, we will have our parameters. So I will put here the name. So we have this, this parameter, and our function should print this name. After we finish this, let's say signature, because this is actually a signature, we can put here colon, and we start our function. To have our function, we have to increment. So here I have incremented, and here I will have a print. I don't print only the name, I will print something like hello plus name. And in this moment, I have my function. Why I have to declare my function? If I have this function, I can call this function for more names. So I can do something like print name, and here I will pass to that function an argument, and I will say here Alin. And also I will copy this. I will call the same function, but now for Tom, and so on. Just a second, because I put it in the code. Okay. So I have defined the function, and after that I call it twice, that function. So it will print hello. I don't put it here, comma and space. Yeah, there are. Okay, so now it's okay. Hello, Aline. Hello, Tom. So what is the importance of a function? This function, I write it once time, only one time, and I call it twice, one for Aline, one for Tom, and so on. I can call that function multiple times. We say that we reuse the code because this code is written once, and I call it more times. So that's why it is recommended to have some functions. We can discuss also. I will delete this. I will put here like a new section. Let's say, just a second, not with link, like a new section. We can discuss about dry. Dry comes from do not repeat yourself. Do not repeat. So let's say don't or capital is repeat yourself. So sometimes we'll have some code, some lines of code that are in multiple places. In that moment, it is recommended actually to have a function and to call that function in multiple places, like here. I will delete this because it's very, very, very high. It's like a title, and I don't want to have the title. It's because of this one. Okay. Um, come on. Why do you don't want to stay in this way? Good. So I return to the defining the function. When we have to define a function, we have to use this keyword. Is coming from define. So we have def. After that, we have the name of our function. We can put here f. If I put here f, I have to call that function. So I have to call the f function. So I have to change also here, and the program, it will work with, oh, just a second, filter, not filter, f. I selected something there. So it's work without problem. So this is, it will be the name of my function, and I have to specify that name. And after that, we'll have the parentheses that are specific to every function, and between these parentheses, it will have the parameters. It can be only one or more. We will see in the next function that we will define some functions with more parameters and not only one. So this, it will be the signature of the function or we can use also the name header. This is the header of my function. When we use colon, actually in this moment, the body of the function starts. So in this moment, this line, print hello name, it is in the body of my print name function. What is important for the body is here we have to increment our lines of code because in this way we say, okay, this is the body of my function. So it's not on the same line. And obviously here we will have an error if it will be on the same indenting layer, because actually this function doesn't have a body. So that's why we should have a body. Okay, so we have this function. Sometimes you will forget this column. It will not be a problem if you forgot it. When you try to run, we will have an error that says exactly this problem. Syntax error expected colon. And in that moment, you will remember, oh, I forgot. Yeah. So you, for the beginning, it is normal to forget it, but after some exercises, you will don't forget. Okay, let's go to return and print function. Here, if you look, we have a function that will print something. So the result, this string concatenated, it will be printed to the console. We can also to return that concatenated string. Let's say I will create here a new section of code, and I will say, I will declare a new function. So I will have def, that keyword, return underscore name, return name, it's okay. Here also I have to get the name, and I start the body of my function. So in this moment, I will don't print similar like here. What I will do here is I will use the keyword return. So I will return a value, return, and I will put the same hello plus name, and don't forget the comma. Hello plus name. So in this moment, what I am doing with this value that I get is to return it. Now, if I want to call this function, let's call it. So be careful here. If you see, if I'm in the body of the function, when I get enter here, actually I am on the same layer because I'm in the body of that function. If I don't want to be in the body of that function and to return to the normal code, I have to delete this indentation. So I have a delete here. And I have too many lines here. Okay, so if I want to call this function, now this function, it will return to me something. It will return this string, hello, and what name I will use there. So I have to do something with that string. Let's save it, text equal with a return name of, let's use Sarah name. Okay, and in this moment, my function return name will return and save in the text variable, hello, Sarah. Let's see it because I want to print text. Great, don't save. And if I print it, it's hello, Sarah. So I have the message that my function returned. Why it is important? Because now if I want to make another function, let's make another function only to, because I forgot here to put the exclamation sign. So I will use a new function, def, and the sentence, and sentence. And actually here I will have sentence. This is my parameter. So I have the sentence and I will end it. Also, I will have a function that return sentence plus exclamation sign. And in this moment it will return. Why it is important now? Because here I call it the return name function with the argument Sarah, because this will be the argument Sarah, and I have this text. Just a second, this text is hello Sarah. What I want to do now is, let's say, printed name, printed text. Printed text, it will be equal with end the sentence. What sentence? Text. So I will pass to this function end sentence the variable text. So it will be the argument, the text that I have in this variable. Actually, it will be hello Sarah. And now I will print not the text, or actually I will let this one text and also printed text. Let's see the difference. I have hello Sarah, only the first one, what return name made. And here I will have hello Sarah with the exclamation sign. So this it will be the difference if we call different functions. Also, actually, these 4 lines can be can be made in only one line. Actually, we can put print what I want to print. I want to print a sentence that is ended. So I'll have to call end sentence. What this function should have like a parameter, the sentence. Who send us that sentence, that text? Return name. So I will pass actually to the end sentence, the argument, it will be the value returned by return name. So I'll call here return name. This is also the function that will get a parameter. It will get, the parameter is the name. So the argument, it will be Sarah, but with H, let's say. So this one, it's similar with all of these 4 lines that I have here. So I will have also actually this one, no, only these 3 lines. Let's see it. I will have hello Sarah printed here and hello Sarah printed here. So what we can do with the functions, we can call them in cascade. If we remember from the methods, there we have it, the chaining, when you call a method and for the output of that method, we call another method. Here are similar, only that if we have functions, we have to pass that argument from a function to another function. So that happens here. Another important thing, let's make a new one. If you have this return name, this function, and if I will print, let's say print return name of, let's put another name, Sally. If we print the result of this function, it will be printed hello Sally. Is nothing special. But the problem appears when we have another function. Let's say define print name. Print name is the first function. Print, and here I will print same thing, hello, comma, plus name and plus exclamation sign. Great. But okay, if I call this function exactly what I made it here, it will print hello, and what name I will use, Sally, for example. The problem is if I call this function in this way, print name, and let's say here I will use Sarah again. Why we will have a problem? Print name do not return nothing here. So we don't have a return function. We have a print function. And that's why I say be careful, because we have two types of functions, returns and print. This function, print name, it's a function that will print to the console. So it will not return. If I try to print the result, I will don't have there any result. But because I don't have a result, here I will print actually none. If you remember the none value or the none type, that we have only one value, none, here we will have this none value. Let's see it. So I will have hello Sarah, that this function is doing to print. And after that, I will print this none because I have also a print here. So I have more prints. I have 3 prints, 1, 2, 3. I have printed 3 strings, but actually the last one is what this print name function returns to me, nothing, because I don't have a return here, the keyword, the return keyword. And because that function returns to me nothing, that's why I have printed here none. So this is the difference between a function that will return and the function that only print to the console the result, the output of that function. Let's create a new one. We have another, let's say, type of function. Def do nothing. So exactly this, it will do this function. Actually, this keyword we will use, you have to define that function, you have to create it, but you don't know in that moment the algorithm that you have to implement in this function. So that's why you will put define do nothing, the function name, and in the body, actually you will put only the pass. And sorry, and in this moment, this function is doing nothing. It's only pass, but we put it in that way that in the future we have to return to this function and to implement. So in this moment, I don't know what I have to do in this function, but I'm sure that I should have a function with this name in my code, but I will not stay now to think how to implement. I will make a pass and I return later or tomorrow or next days or who knows. So this, it will be another keyword that this function is doing nothing. That's why we'll use pass. Go to the next one, and it's okay. We don't have any error because the function is doing well. But also, if I remember correctly, we cannot call it. So we have print do nothing. or we have a none, or we have a none. So actually, but the problem is we cannot let it in this way. We say we don't implement because it doesn't have a body. So any function should have a body. So if you don't know in this moment what we have to do, put a pass, or we can put return none. It's similar. But pass, it marks also that you have to return here to implement this function. Don't forget to do that. Okay, I think that it's clear now with these two types of functions for returning and for printing. Let's go now for operations. We saw that we create a function that prints the name, prints that name that we got like an argument, like a parameter actually. Let's see now, I want to define a function, add numbers. So I will have a function that will add two numbers. So these two numbers should be like parameter for my function. So I will have number one and number two. Great, colon. And here I will return number one plus number two. And let's call this function. So I will have print add numbers of 4 and 7. So the result, it will be 11 and so on. Let's make a new call. 67, 8, 33 to have 100 and so on. So that's why when I started, I said we use functions in that way to reuse the code. So here I have created this function that will add these two numbers. So in this moment, actually what I have to do is to call that function for everything. Let's make something more complicated now. What I want to do, let's create a new section code. What I want to do is to calculate Celsius from Fahrenheit. So we have the temperature in Fahrenheit, and I want to create something that will calculate this temperature in Celsius degree. So for that, if you remember the formula, it will be something like Celsius equal with Fahrenheit minus 32 times 595 divided by 9. So if I remember correctly, this is the formula. What is important here? We have different operations. We have divide, so we have to create a function to divide two numbers. We have multiply, and also we have a subtract. So we have to create these three functions, and after that, I will make a function that will call all of them. I don't want to put everything in a function because maybe I want to do only multiply or only divide. I have to call only the divide function. So not only, I don't use these functions only for this formula. So that's why I will split in different functions. Let's see. So I will have first a function that will divide two numbers. So I will have def, the keyword, divide numbers. Now I will have number one and number two. And a column. What I have to do here, return number one, because it's the first one, and I will divide by the second one, number two. Great, so this it will be my function divide. I have also a function multiply, define, multiply, number one with number two. And this one, it will return number one times number two. Great, and the third function, it will be subtract, and I will create here. So def subtraction number one, the bigger one, and number two, two. And here colon, I will have now a return. Don't forget return. All these three functions are with return, so our return function. Return number one minus number two. Okay. Now, what I want to do. So I have these three functions. Let's create a new function, define transform Fahrenheit to Celsius. What I will have the like parameter only the degree. I will have Fahrenheit. Let's say Fahrenheit degree. Okay. So if I will have this function, it will get actually the degree in Fahrenheit, and they will calculate that value in Celsius. Let's do it. Just a second. Come on. Okay. Don't worry about the column. So here, let's return also. Return. So what we have to do? First, we have to make this subtraction. So I will have Fahrenheit degree. It's a very complicated, that doesn't matter. So I'll have actually to call subtraction of Fahrenheit degree with 32, because this is the number, the second number. So I have to call this function only for this one. Let's split it actually. Subtracted value. Come on. Okay, it's better. So I have declared this variable, subtracted value. I have called it the function subtraction to make this subtraction. After that, what I have to do is to multiply by 5. So I have multiplied value. It will be equal with, I have to call the function that will multiply. So I have multiply of the first number, it will be this difference. So actually this subtracted value. And the second one, it will be 5. And I have called it all these things. And the last thing that I have to do is to divide by 9. So I'll have this value multiplied. I have to divide it by 9. So here, let's say final result, it will be equal with, I have to call the function divide numbers. The first number, it will be this one. And the second one, it will be 9. And I have to return this final result. Great. Let's test now this function. Come on. So here I will have, let's transform. So I will have print transform Fahrenheit to Celsius for, let's say, 80 degrees. Let's see how it is, how much is it? It will be 26. And I will have 100 in Fahrenheit, it will be 37. So in this way, we can call this function transform Fahrenheit to Celsius for any value that we have it. Okay. So in this moment, we saw also some operations that we can do it. Also, we make, I will create a new function here, diff f to C, Fahrenheit, oh, come on, Fahrenheit to Celsius. And here I will have F degree. degree, it's okay. Degrees, but okay. And here, what I have to do is to put the entire formula. So I will have something like return. So I don't use these three functions. What I wanted to present to you here is I can call some functions from another function. But here also we can do something like f degree minus 32. Let's put in a parenthesis is times 5 divided by 9. And the result, it will be the same. If I call this function now, come on here, f2c, f2c, it will be similar. Run it. 37, 37. That's why this one is using another functions, and this one is make everything here. But the problem is, if I want to have for something else, I want to calculate, I don't know, I want to calculate when I have to apply a discount for a price. So in that moment, what I have to do, I have to make a subtraction, I have to make a multiply, to multiply the percent that I have this discount, and after that, that subtraction. So I can use these two functions for that operation. So that's why if we create more functions, we can call them everywhere where we need it. So that's why we say we reuse the code by creating these functions. Great. I hope that also this video will be helpful for you. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.